Hey guys, it's Thomas here with Technovision, and welcome to episode 1 of our new modding tutorial series for 1.15.2. In this series, we'll be teaching you how to make things like blocks, items, GUIs, entities, all sorts of different stuff in Minecraft 1.15.2. Forge has completely overhauled the whole system and how you make a mod, so I thought I would sort of reinvent the series from 1.12. And I actually really like the changes that were made by Forge to this library. So I think overall it'll be easier for you guys, and that's always a good thing. So yeah, let's get right into it. The process is pretty much exactly the same for setting up your workspace. So first, we need to get Java 8 as, same as before. So in the description, we will have the first link will be to Java SE Development Kit 8 downloads. And if you scroll down here, you can see there's a bunch of different downloads for different systems. In my case, I am going to get Windows 64-bit, and you can click right here, and it will ask you if you accept the terms of agreement, the license agreement. Hit yes, or click it, and download JDK. And in my case, I've already signed into Oracle, but you probably won't have signed in, so you're gonna have to make an Oracle account, which I know sucks. There are some other ways of getting Java, although I don't really want to talk about them on this video because they're very complicated. So in my opinion, I think the best thing to do would be to just create an Oracle account, which I know is a really annoying process, but yeah. So once you've made a Oracle account, you can save this file to your desktop, save file, and in my case, I already have it on my desktop here. So, I accidentally double clicked it, getting right ahead. But what you want to make sure is that it's JDK 8U241. You don't want to get Java 13 or Java 11 or all the different versions that they have. You want to get JDK 8 because that is the only Java version that will work with Minecraft at this current moment. So once you've made sure that it's Java 8U241 and it's the JDK, not the JRE, double click on our icon here, and you will get the Java Development Kit 8 install wizard. So we can hit next. This is all just license agreement stuff. You can hit next, and it will install Java as normal. And it shouldn't take too long, but I will see you guys in a bit when it's done. Alright, so you'll get this pop-up here asking which folder to install it to. You can just leave it to its original, whatever it says. It should be in program files probably. Hit next. And once again, it will install. This time it's installing the runtime environment, which is what allows you to actually play the game. Okay, so you can see here that it says Java was successfully installed. Perfect, so you can hit close. And we can actually delete this installer right now because we don't need it anymore. Now the next thing we need to do is set up our path variables. I think it might do it on its own, but we want to make sure just so that we can actually use our IDE for coding. So go down to your search bar here, and you want to type either advanced or path. In my case, I'm going to type path. And you should see edit the system environment variables here. It's in your control panel under system settings if you can't get it this way. But click on that and we'll get system properties here. You can hit environment variables down here at the bottom. And you'll get all these environment variables. Most of these do not matter. You can see I'm actually on my brother's computer right now because I am on spring break away from college, so I don't have my desktop with me. But let's go down all the way, to path here, in the middle of system variables, and you want to hit edit, and you can see that there is the regular Java path, but we actually need to make one to the JDK. So once you're inside of path here in system variables, you want to hit new, and you'll get a little bar down here to start a new path, and we need to actually enter in here our path to the Java file that we just downloaded. So before we do this, actually, let's go get that path. So go to your file explorer. I know this is a lot going on, bear with me. And you want to go to this PC, your local disk, program files times 86, I believe. Or it might be, looks like it's the other one. So just program files, Java. And you want to go to the JDK 1.8.0 folder, not the JRE. Make sure it's the JDK. And bin. And you want to take this whole path file here, right click, copy, and you can close out of this. And we want to go back to our environment variable here, new, and right click and paste. So it should say, again, in your path system variable, you should have a new variable that basically takes the variable all the way to your JDK bin folder. And you can hit OK, and OK again, and OK as well for the system properties. So that is the environment variable done, which is the hardest part of this whole episode, thankfully. So next we need to download the actual IDE, which is the program we're going to be using to code in. And I know a lot of people will be heartbroken to hear this, but I will be using Intellij for this tutorial. I know people are always like, oh, Eclipse is so much better, but I agree that Eclipse is more lightweight, but in this case, I think Intellij makes this process for this modding tutorial series way easier. So that's why I'll be using it. But of course, you can use Eclipse. Both will work just fine. So you want to go to the next link in the description. We can close out of this link here. And it will take you to this download Intellij page. And you can download the ultimate if you'd like, although that is a paid version. So I'm going to be downloading the free version, which is community edition. You can hit download here. And it should immediately ask you to download the file. You can save file to your desktop or wherever. Back on my desktop here, I already have it downloaded, of course, for convenience. So we can double click this, our ideal C, I believe is what it's called. And this should take a little bit longer than Java, unfortunately, but you might not have seen that, but that was just a administrator perks pop-up. Always hit yes to those for this tutorial. So it says welcome to the setup, hit next. You can leave this destination folder as it is, next. You can choose whatever you'd like here. In my case, I'm going to add launchers directory to the path, I think. And a 64-bit launcher, and I'm going to create associations with none of these because I don't think we want our .java folders to be opened in Intellij. And I think that's good for now. Hit next. Just hit install, and this should install JetBrains Intellij IDE. You can see we have our little what is it called, application right here on our desktop. But I will be right back when it's done installing. Alright, so it's done installing, and we will actually have to reboot our computer in order for this to finish because we're adding the directory to our path variables, just like we did with Java. So I will be right back. You want to hit reboot now, and your computer will restart. It should only take a few minutes, and when it starts back up, then we can pick up the tutorial where we left off. So I will see you guys when my computer is done restarting. Okay, so hopefully you've restarted your computer now and you're back just like me, and you can see here that we have Intellij on our desktop. It was a bit longer, but I renamed it just to Intellij if that's easier for you, and we can delete the installer as well. So before we do anything with Intellij, we need to make a folder to store all of our mod files in. So on your desktop, you want to right click, new, folder, and we're going to name this Minecraft Modding. Just so that we have a place to store all of our projects. I'm going to bring it over here, and inside of this folder we're going to open it up. We can right click and create a new folder, and this is going to be your actual mod. So you want to name this folder whatever the name of your mod is. If it's witchery, you can name it witchery, industrial craft, whatever you want to name it. But this is your mod name. I will name mine tutorial mod, as we usually do in these tutorials, and hit enter. And you can see here that the standard, this is with Java, and also just in case, in terms of actually naming your files, the standard way of naming your files is to have no spaces, and the first letter of each new word be a capital letter. This is called camel case, and we'll be using it a lot, but just so you know, for future reference. So we can close out of this. And next we need to get the actual Forge library. So go to the third link in the description, the last one I believe, and it will take you to minecraftforge.net, and make sure that you're downloading Minecraft 1.15.2 Forge version, and we want the recommended, not the latest, and make sure you're downloading the MDK as well. So click the MDK, and it will take you to this advertisement site. Don't click anything on this site. It's all ads to try and get you to click all these fake things. And in the top right corner here, after 5 seconds, you can hit skip, and it will ask you if you want to save the file. You can hit OK, and you can exit out of here. Of course, I've already downloaded it for simplicity, and we have it here on our desktop. So you want to open it up with some sort of archiver like WinZip, 7-zip. I have WinRAR in this case, but double click to open it. And of course, we get this little message here. Move it over to the side, and you can see all the files in here. So open your Minecraft modding folder, open your tutorial mod or whatever you named it, and we're just going to drag all of these files over into our folder. And you can see they're all in there. Perfect. We can close out of here. And this is our mod now, basically. We just haven't opened it up in Intellij. So we can delete this Forge library as well over here on our desktop. All right, so the first thing we need to do is find the build.gradle. So if you have the build.gradle, then you're all set. So we can actually close out of this for right now and go to our Intellij right here. And I'm actually going to put this Intellij in Minecraft modding, just so I know that it's associated with my modding tutorial series. And we can double click Intellij to open it up. And you'll get this privacy policy thing. Make sure you confirm that you've read it and hit continue. And this is up to you if you want to send your usage statistics or not to help them develop the Intellij. I'm going to say don't send because I don't really want to give out my usage data like that, but it's up to you. And we just wait for it to start up. Intellij takes a little while to start up usually, so. All right, so we have this menu here, and we want to make sure that we hit import project. And it's gonna have this little directory area. We can navigate to C, I believe users. In my case, I am Chris because this is my brother's computer, but whatever your computer's name is. Desktop, Minecraft modding, tutorial mod. And inside of tutorial mod, or whatever you named it, we want to import the build.gradle, or Gradle, whatever, however you say it. Some people call it gradlew, gradle, W, whatever. Build.gradle or gradle, and you can hit OK. And it should start importing your project. This will probably take anywhere from like a minute to 10 minutes, depending on your computer, but just give it a little bit of time. And we have a tip of the day. Yeah, so you can see here that's downloading everything, all the packages that we need. And I'm gonna let this finish up, and I'll see you guys when it's done. Oh, well, it looks like we got a little defender alert here. If you get one of these, you can just make sure public networks is checked and allow access. That shouldn't be too big of a problem. Alright, so it looks like the majority of it is done, and that's just indexing right now, so we can hit close. And if you click your little project button up here, you should be able to see your project, and we can actually go to Java, com.example.examplemod, and there we go, example mod. We can double click this, and there we go. This is our main mod folder. So we've successfully compiled the majority of what we need to pretty much start. So we just want to clean this up a bit, and then we'll be done with this episode, I believe. So first thing you want to do is change this package presentation. We don't want example and example mod, of course. So we can right click. Well, actually first, I guess what we should do is go up to settings here, and you want to uncheck compact middle packages. This will show all of the packages. And first, for example mod, we want to change that, refactor, rename, and you can rename it to the name of your mod, all lowercase. So in my case, tutorial, refactor, and that will change the name of the package. And instead of example, we can refactor, right click, rename. And instead of example, this will be the your name. You can use your real name, you can use your Minecraft name, whatever you prefer, your developer name. I'm gonna type TechnoVision. TechnoVision, there we go, refactor. And you can see here now that our path is java com.technovision.tutorial. The name of your class. And this is standard convention when modding because generally you have your website name sort of as the path, but the reason we do this is so that each mod is unique and they don't conflict with their paths, because no one's going to have the same developer name as you, hopefully, and the same mod name. So that's why we do it. But we can also rename our class here. So right click on your class, refactor, rename, and we're going to name this tutorial. I guess you could name it tutorial or tutorial mod. I'm gonna go with tutorial just because there's no reason to add the mod on the extra end. But again, this is what you'll name your mod. So, you know, if it's witchery, you can name it witchery. You could do industrial craft. As long as you're using the camel case, it should work fine whatever you name it. So tutorial. And we have a few more things to do. You want to delete all of these 2 slash marks here. In Java, that's a comment. So we want to get rid of all of those. So just delete that. We can delete this, all of this, because ultimately we don't need to know this information unless you're trying to figure it out yourself, in which case it can be very helpful. Delete all these comments. There we go. Delete this comment, keep going. You want to delete all of these methods that have the @subscribe event. So just delete all of these because we will be doing that in a different file. You can delete this process IMC. You can also delete this enqueue IMC. These are all things that we will be, oh, my bad, Control Z. I deleted the wrong bracket there. We'll be dealing with all of this in another episode. In a different class, so we can have it be more organized. Make sure you keep do client stuff and setup because we will be using those, but you can delete everything inside of them because, there we go, delete this, and bring this bracket up. There we go, so we have 2 empty methods. Hold on. Alright, so last thing you need to do is just delete these 2 lines here because they have enqueue and process, which we deleted. So just delete these middle 2 lines. So you should have these 2 FML Java mod loading context .get and make sure the 2 that have setup and do client stuff. And you want to keep this Minecraft forge.event bus register as well. That will register the event bus, which will be very important in another video. And also keep these 2 methods down here, even though they have nothing inside of them. We'll use them later. So, and the logger as well, I should mention. So you can open up your import as well, and there's a bunch of gray imports. That just means we're not using them. So you can delete all of those just to sort of save some space. There we go. And come up to the file here. Should make this full screen. File, save all. There we go. And we also want to change example mod as our mod ID to your mod ID. So your mod ID is basically anything, any short phrase that represents your entire mod. In my case, I'm gonna name mine tutorial, but you want to make it unique, something that another mod would not have in common. Some people like to take like the first letter of each part of their mod. So if you did Industrial Craft 2, you could put IC2 and that could be a mod ID. Whatever you think is best for your mod, but I'm gonna do tutorial for mine. It can be long if you'd like, but it's generally better to have it be somewhat short. And we can save again, save all. And we need to go into our resources folder here and metainf. And there's a folder here called mods.toml. If you double click that, it'll open it up and you can see there's a ton of stuff in here. Now this folder, or this file, sorry, is what is going to determine in the Minecraft menu what it says about your mod. So we actually want to clean this up a bit so that we know what's going on here. We can delete all of the lines that have a hashtag in front of them. We can pretty much delete just so that it's easier for us to really understand what's going on here. And I want to space out all of the different options because this really is a really important part of your mod. It allows people to sort of understand what they have installed and update your mod if it needs to be updated. So just delete all of these comments here. I mean, you can keep them if you'd like, but I don't think they're very necessary. All right, so here we go. Just make a little space there, and we can delete these comments as well. All right, so let's start at the top. So we have our mod loader, which we're going to keep the same. And same with the loader version and issue tracker. All these can stay the same. What you want to change is your mod ID. You can see it's example mod here. And these have the tag mandatory, meaning we need to have them essentially. So let's go back to tutorial. You see that we made our mod ID tutorial. Copy whatever you made your mod ID here. Right click copy, and just paste it in instead of example mod for mod ID. There we go, tutorial. You can keep your version like this if you'd like, but I'm going to actually manually input it, so delete this. And the standard convention for your version is usually the version of Minecraft with a line and then your mod version. So 1.15.2-1.0.0. Oh, and stop typing. There we go. So this is saying the mod is for version 1.15.2 of Minecraft, but the mod itself is version 1.0. And usually you'll use these other ones for more minor releases, but it's not super important right now. And we can change example mod here, the display name. This is another important one. This is like the name of your mod in the menu. To whatever you'd like. So I'm gonna name mine tutorial mod. There we go, tutorial mod. You can name it whatever you'd like. And these things you can deal with later on. We'll probably touch them. But the update JSON URL, these are all if you'd like to have a website that's associated with your mod. You can change this to your website. If you'd like a logo or a file to be a picture, like a PNG picture for your mod, you can change that as well here. We can do that later on in another video. And I guess credits is kind of important. We want to thank the people who helped make our mod. So I'm going to say thanks to my incredible subscribers! Exclamation mark. And of course for authors, you want to put your name and whoever else worked on the mod. Techno Vision. And it's also, make sure if you're adapting an old mod, you're redoing a mod that hasn't been updated in a while, make sure you always ask the author for permission and include their name in the authors as well, because that's just a respectful thing to do as a developer. So yeah, and then there's also the description here. We can actually delete all of this. Wow, there's a lot of filler. They really wanted to load up this line here. Oops, I accidentally deleted the final brackets there. Oh good, God, there's quite a lot. Okay, all right, just make sure that there's another 3 brackets at the end here. This line here is gonna be your description for your mod. So I'm gonna just say a tutorial mod for my YouTube channel. And there you go, you can describe your mod however you'd like, of course. And I'm gonna hit save all. And I believe we are done here. So if we actually run the game, we will see our mod. It won't do anything, of course, but we will see our mod and it will have the important information that we've mentioned. So in order to run Intellij, sorry, not Intellij, in order to run Minecraft within Intellij, you want to close out of here real quick. Just minimize. Go to your search bar, type CMD, and you want to open the command prompt. And in this command prompt, we want to navigate to our Minecraft modding. So cd desktop, cd Minecraft modding, cd the name of your mod. Again, if you don't know what you named the file, you can type ls. And oh, I guess that's only for Mac, but you can open up your folder here and you can see we have tutorial mod. So I'm gonna do cd tutorial mod, enter, and you can see that we are all the way up to our tutorial mod folder. So we're inside of the folder and we need to type gradlew space genIntellijRuns, and make sure the I and the R are capitalized here. That's very important. and this will actually create some run applications for you. And if you're on a Mac, you want to make sure that you do /gradlew in front instead of just gradlew. But in my case, let's run Windows gradlew genIntellijRuns. You can hit enter, and this will start generating the runs. It's super quick, which is awesome. So just give it a few seconds to finish configuring. Okay, so it says build successful in 1 minute, and we're done. We can exit out of here, go to our Intellij, and if we go up to add configuration here, we should be able to see an application bar. If you don't see this, no worries, just go up to your tutorial mod here. Let me scroll over, right click, and just, where is it? Refresh, reload from disk. That's the same thing as refresh. And you should see it now. If you go to add configuration, go to application, and inside of here you can see run client, run data, and run server. This will run a server of your mod, and this will run a client of your mod. So we're gonna run client, of course. So click on run client and hit OK. And you can see up here we have run client now. So anytime we want to run the game or test out our mod, you can either hit file or run and run client. You can right click on tutorial, or sorry, you can't because it's a Gradle application. So you can either hit run, or you can hit this little green triangle in the top right corner. So in this case, I'm just gonna hit the triangle, and this will take a few minutes, but it's gonna basically create Minecraft and load your mod in, and I will see you guys in the game. Okay, so you can see Minecraft is open now, and it is 1.15.2, and Forge is working because we have a mods button here, and if we hit that, there we go. We can see our mod is working, tutorial mod. It has the right version. We've got our description here, our author, credits, and mod ID. So everything is working great. And if you don't have this or you can't find it in here, that means that you probably skipped a step, or your mods.toml folder, file rather, is not correctly set up. So you can go back and do that. But we can close out of Minecraft. And our mod is totally functional. We just need to add items to it, which we'll do in the next episode. So I think I'm going to end it there. Thanks guys so much for watching. I'm really excited to start this journey again with Minecraft modding, and hopefully we'll be able to keep the series going a little bit longer than last time. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next episode.